Alright, so recently, just this Monday, I was at school back again after a great break where I did absolutely fuck all. I was ecstatic, I was back at school, I was ready to learn. Lo and behold, my professor was fucking late, so I had to strike up a conversation with this random in my class whose name I still don't even know to this day. But we eventually started talking about Stranger Things and what we thought of it. It was cool. Then this fucking guy proceeds to tell me that the ending was fake and that there's gonna be a real secret ending released on January 7th. Listen, at this point, I looked at him like a fucking escaped Arkham patient. He had his eyes bugging out and I promised they were twitching, all that shit. He was real serious about this. Then he tells me to look up something called Conformity Gate on TikTok, and I was surprised to see that he was indeed crazy as shit and that the Stranger Things finale caused mass hysteria in the fandom. It seems as though Stranger Things fans were so unhappy with the ending that they convinced themselves that it just wasn't real. There has to be more to it. They pointed to a string of Easter eggs, hidden clues, and inconsistencies in set design as a means to prove their claim. To be honest with you, some of these items of proof are actually really interesting. Others are a reach and others are genuinely just crackpipe theories based on pure cope. Listen, there were some cool pieces of evidence that made it seem like things were genuinely designed in a way to support this idea. For example, at the graduation ceremony, everyone is sat in this weird position in a manner that's sort of evocative of the upright posture that Henry Creel displayed as one. People also pointed out that the graduation gowns being orange could have been a hint to the people of Hawkins being imprisoned under Vecna's control, but I saw something saying that the colors of the school are just green, yellow, and orange, which makes a lot more sense. They also pointed out that when the main group's D&D binders were lined up, it spelled out X a lie, I guess saying that to mention X was a lie or something along those lines. And another one, which was actually pretty cool, I really enjoyed this one, was that there were a bunch of exit signs in the epilogue. This is significant because the Duffer Brothers supposedly mentioned the Truman Show in the build-up to the final season's release. And if you've watched the movie, you'll know that the exit sign was above that door that allowed Truman to walk out of the set and escape the trance, that fake life he's being shown. This stuff, I'll admit, was cool. I still thought it was major cope, but I could respect these theories at the very least. Then there were some really stupid fucking theories that I actually hated. People pointing towards Nancy and her mom Karen's hairstyles in the epilogue, stating that they're wearing similar hairstyles to Henry Creel, and therefore they must be a part of this dream world he created. This was some of the dumbest shit I ever heard. They're white ladies in the suburbs of the late 80s. This was a default hairstyle. And if anything was more likely to be meant to display the character growth that the two of them had undergone. Another stupid theory I saw was for the date of the supposed secret episode's release. There was a clip Netflix released of Mr. Clark's actor Randy Havens posted up in the classroom, and in the background there's this clock, but I guess since it's close to 107 they ran with it and said that this means for sure that Netflix releasing the new episode on January 7th. Another dumb thing I saw was that Mike was wearing glasses like Mr. Whatsit, therefore this must mean that he's in a trance. It's a bit far-fetched, but I got put onto this theory very early on and got to witness this fandom's descent into absolute madness. It's not actually bad or anything like that. I love film and TV theories, how Matt Pat used to be one of several characters in my internal monologue sometimes, but look man, this was pretty wild considering a huge part of the fan base latched onto it and with all their hearts genuinely poured into it, believing that there was merit to the theories and that this will absolutely be a new episode. Listen, the response to being proven wrong has been pretty rough. A lot of people are just shitting on the Duffer Brothers, calling them mid-riders and dog shit and all that. I think a lot of people are upset because the Duffer Brothers promised a dark Christmas and an insane finale, but everything was really safe. I think that people expected a lot more, and the way things were set up, they could have easily taken more risks with characters dying and things like that. I think the Duffer Brothers just went for this generic fantasy ending, but the way they went about advertising it is what made people believe they try and subvert expectations and break tropes. Being upset at the ending is fine, but being upset that you deluded yourself into thinking that the finale was fake and that the real one would release a week later is just fucking hilarious. Honestly, I think that these fans just don't watch too many shows that are actually really good, because everything they want out of Stranger Things, the plot twists, big reveals, insanely good character work and dialogue, moments that connect the beginning of the story all the way to the very end. They'd find that in Attack on Titan, but they just don't want to watch perfection because it's anime. Listen man, Attack on Titan's really good, but moreover, a lot of this fan base is probably just really young, or they just haven't watched too many TV shows outside of Stranger Things, because honestly, if you watch enough TV, this ain't nothing new, man. I watched, 9 seasons of How I Met Your Mother just for them to fuck everything up in the course of a couple episodes. Plus, Stranger Things isn't even the greatest cope of this generation, alright? They only coped for a week. If you were really about it, you were there for months after that fateful day in September of 2023 where my glorious King Gojo Gojo got fucking slimed out, and we waited for months, wondering whether he'd come back and undo the terrible death that he was given. Holy shit, I got worked up a little bit there. They dropped the ball with that one, alright? Gojo should not have died. Especially not like that, but that's another video for another day. Another fucking dreadful video for another day. I don't know about that one. Stranger Things fans developed the craziest coping mechanism, but shit, I've been there, right? It is what it is. And yeah, that's pretty much it.